Claire's executive assistant, Olivia, hinted to me that the new hire wasn't staying in his lane. I glanced at the resume. Liam Carter, a scholarship student sponsored by Thompson Industries. 4 years ago, when he got his acceptance letter, he showed up at our door with a gift basket to express his thanks, only to be coldly dismissed by Claire. The timid, stammering boy from back then had grown into a handsome, sharp-looking young man. No wonder her work dinners had been running later and later. He wasn't the only one out of line. Just when my search for evidence had hit a dead end, Liam Carter found me in private. He pleaded with me, tears in his eyes. "Mr. Quinn, please, you have to help me. I can't let her keep using me like this." Looking at his resume photo, with his strong brows and bright eyes, I figured he must be popular. It would be a real shame if he was willing to be a shameless homewrecker. A message from Claire popped up on my phone. "Honey, gotta work dinner tonight, we'll be late. Get some rest, don't stay up for me. Zoxo." Before I could reply, a new friend request came through. The note read, "Mr. Quinn, this is Liam Carter, Ms. Thompson's assistant." So begins. I hit accept. "Mr. Quinn, sorry to bother you. Ms. Thompson asked me to add you. She said if she has too much to drink, I should let you know." "Okay, thank you for taking care of her." "Of course, sir. It's part of my job." At 11 o'clock, long past my bedtime, I was still holding my phone, waiting. Sure enough, a message arrived. "Mr. Quinn, are you still awake? Ms. Thompson is quite drunk. The driver and I are bringing her home now." "I'm up. Thank you, I'll be waiting." I watched as Liam and the driver half-carried a wasted Claire through the door. His posture was awkward, as if he was trying his best to keep a respectful distance. The moment he saw me, his eyes lit up. "Mr. Quinn, Ms. Thompson had a bit too much." I stepped forward to take her from him, and I felt him let out a sigh of relief. "Sir, if there's nothing else, I'll be going." I nodded. "Wait." He stopped, turning back with a questioning look. "It's late. Hard to get an Uber out here. I'll have my driver take you home." Liam's eyes sparkled when he smiled. "Thank you, sir." Claire clung to my neck, refusing to let go, murmuring, "Honey, Julian, I love you so much. Why did you drink so much? You're going to feel terrible tomorrow." "I have you. Not worried. You'll take care of me." I told my best friend, Mark Davis, about it. Am I losing my ability to read people? I just don't get that vibe from this kid. He scoffed. "You've had it too good for too long, man. You've forgotten what you're capable of. This stuff is common. When women decide to play games, they play harder than men. Just you wait. Before you know it, he'll be posting passive-aggressive jabs at you on his Instagram story." I let out a long sigh. Mark's wife had been getting a little too close with her own assistant lately. With no hard evidence, the two had been in a cold war for months. Would Claire be the same? The woman who pursued me for 3 years in college. The woman who learned to cook my mother's favorite gourmet dishes to win her over, despite never having set foot in a kitchen. Was she just as susceptible to cliché? I steadied myself. This had to be dealt with. Wallowing in self-pity was not an option. But a week passed, and Liam Carter's social media feeds were filled with nothing but mundane, everyday posts. A sunset over the lakefront, dinner with college buddies. Aside from being inseparable from Claire at work, there was, at least on the surface, nothing to find fault with. Mark's take on this was even more pessimistic. "You're dealing with a pro," he said. "These homewreckers have evolved. They're not the low-level types who shove the evidence in your face anymore." I checked Claire's dashcam footage and her credit card statements. Nothing. Not a single anomaly. Was she really that meticulous? The uncertainty, this feeling of chasing a ghost, was worse than finding concrete proof of an affair. It was unsettling, terrifying. I racked my brain for any detail I might have missed. There was almost nothing. Claire still bought me things she thought I'd like without a second thought. The only oddity was a belt she gave me last week, an exact replica of one she'd bought me years ago. She was always busy and not particularly sentimental about such things, so forgetting she'd already given it to me was plausible. But it had never happened before. One day, without telling her beforehand, I went to Thompson Industries. Claire wasn't there. My old classmate, Olivia Grant, who was now Claire's executive assistant, pulled me aside and whispered, "Claire took Liam and left. She said they were going to Veronica Vance's company to discuss a partnership, but I don't think so. We don't have any active projects with Vance's firm. Who knows where they really went?" Veronica Vance, Mark's wife. If the two of them were coordinating, covering for each other, confronting them directly would only tip them off. I made a call. "Mark, I need you to do me a favor." While I waited for his reply, my face must have drained of color, a detail that didn't escape Olivia's notice, despite my efforts to remain calm. "Don't panic yet," she said. "If this is real, you have more important things to worry about." She was right. I don't tolerate betrayal. If I found proof, The heartbreak would be one thing, but the divorce and the division of assets would be the real battle. Mark didn't call back. He showed up in person. "Julian, something's not right," he said, his brow furrowed. My stomach dropped. What could be worse than confirming Claire was cheating? "Your wife is definitely there," he continued. "But the kid wasn't with her. He was waiting in the lobby lounge." Veronica thought I was there for a surprise inspection and made a few sarcastic remarks. "But," he paused, struggling to find the words. "I never saw Claire." "What? She went to Veronica's company. You saw Liam. You saw Veronica, but you never saw Claire?" This didn't fit any of my theories. A powerful sense of unease washed over me. But at the very least, didn't this prove she wasn't doing anything sordid with Liam? I didn't want Veronica to get suspicious, so I left. Mark said, "Julian, what the hell is Claire up to?" This was far more complex than I had imagined. When Claire came home that evening, her smile was as warm and bright as ever. It was the same smile from our college days. A woman born with a silver spoon, who had everything, yet she'd chased me relentlessly for years, doing all sorts of ridiculous things that were completely out of character. Before her, we had both been the dutiful children of our families, never having been in a serious relationship. We had grown up together in a way. She took over her family's corporation, and I ran my own art gallery. After my mother passed away, I grew distant from my father and his new family. In many ways, Claire had filled that void. "Julian," she said, opening her arms and throwing herself into my embrace. She took a deep breath, nuzzling into my neck. "You showered?" Her scent was still fresh and intoxicating, as captivating as ever. Her dress was perfectly neat, without a single wrinkle. "I've been so busy lately, I haven't been home for dinner with you. Are you mad at me?" She stood on her toes and pecked my chin. "Am I that unreasonable? The CEO has to work hard to bring home the bacon." While Claire was in the bathroom, I checked her phone. Still nothing. Her chat logs were all work-related. Her conversation history with Liam was sparse, just a series of noted and received. She came out and saw me with her phone, letting out a light laugh. "My Instagram feed is all boring stuff, not like yours with all those artists." She straddled my lap, our noses touching. We hadn't been intimate in a while, and with this gesture, I expected things to progress. I wrapped my arms around her waist, ready to make a move, but she pushed me away and rolled over in bed. Confusion, embarrassment, and anxiety washed over me all at once. I didn't sleep a wink that night. A few days later, I got a message from Olivia. Claire had taken Liam to Veronica's company again. I drove straight to the tower and found Liam in the lobby, looking utterly bored. "Mr. Quinn, what are you doing here?" "Liam, aren't you supposed to be with Ms. Thompson? Slacking off down here?" No. He stammered, waving his hands frantically. "Ms. Thompson told me I didn't need to go up, that she'd call if she needed me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing." He lowered his head, looking troubled. My tone softened. "How long has this been going on?" Liam seemed to struggle with how much he could tell me about Claire. "Look, I'm just worried about her," I said, trying to sound reassuring. "She's been sleeping poorly, and I have no idea what big deal requires her to come here so often." He bit his lip. "It's been about 3 months now. She doesn't bring me every time, but when she does, there's nothing for me to do. I'd rather be at the office." Before I left, I told him, "Liam, if you ever run into any trouble, you can come to me." I asked Mark to keep a closer eye on things at Veronica's building. "Julian, I saw Claire go to the 27th floor," he called, his voice urgent. "The 27th floor?" A few floors of the tower are set up as corporate apartments for visiting clients. I just found out the 27th floor was taken off the market 3 months ago. It's under a long-term lease. All the seemingly unrelated details suddenly crashed down on me, the weight making it hard to breathe. Can you get me the security footage?" The footage from the elevator bank and the 27th floor hallway. For the past 3 months, Claire had appeared there during work hours nearly 30 times. Each time, she went to the room at the end of the hall, entered a passcode, and went straight in. I couldn't see who was inside. I watched the clips over and over, zooming in, analyzing every frame. Finally, in one video, I saw it. A hand, elegant and long-fingered, reached out from the doorway. It was a man's hand. A man stood at the door, welcoming Claire inside. I clutched my chest, my breathing shallow. Who was he, that she would go to such elaborate lengths to hide him? Liam, Veronica, they were all just smoke and mirrors to cover her tracks. But this footage alone wasn't enough. I needed something more damning. "I found what you asked me to look into," Olivia said over the phone. "There are no major red flags on the books. The only thing is a parcel of land Thompson Industries bought from Vance's company over 2 months ago. The sale price was nearly 3 times the market value. No matter how good of friends Claire and Veronica are, that's not just a friendly favor. That's a massive payout. Everything clicked into place. Veronica was providing the cover, and all the expenses for maintaining this secret life were being funneled through her company. At the same time, Mark told me that Veronica's assistant had been letting it slip to him that a handsome new guy had been hired at their company, a ghost employee who did nothing but collect a paycheck, and whom Veronica took very good care of. The assistant was clearly feeling threatened and was trying to use Mark to eliminate the competition. The guy's name is Evan Hayes, Mark said. He lives on the 27th floor of the tower. When Evan Hayes' file landed in my inbox, I felt a wave of dizziness. He was one of Claire's high school classmates, though they hadn't been close. He had been a school hunk back then. After graduation, his family's fortunes declined, and he went abroad with a wealthy older woman, only to return 6 months ago. 6 months ago, Claire had attended a high school reunion. I leaned back on the sofa, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. Should I confront her directly? Without concrete evidence to throw in her face, Claire would deny everything. What could I do? How could I get the proof I needed to deliver the final blow? I scrolled through my social media feed and saw a new post from Liam. A guy's got to protect himself out there too. Getting slandered with false rumors is brutal. I called him immediately. Liam, is something wrong? The company cares about its employees. If your boss is treating you poorly, you can tell me. Liam's voice was thick with emotion. Mr. Quinn, he paused. I'm fine, Ms. Thompson is very good to all of us. Thank you for your concern. He was lying. As soon as I hung up, Claire called. Honey, I need you to do me a favor and pack a bag for me. I have to fly to Miami for a few days. My flight is tonight. Her voice was cheerful. Oh, and I'll have Liam come by the house to pick it up. I could hear the smile in her voice. And I also heard something else, the faint sound of a man's laugh in the background. It was so soft, it was almost my imagination. Okay, are you just taking him? He's all I need? Her tone was teasing. What, are you jealous? I can take one of the female assistants if you'd prefer. No, that's fine. Liam is very diligent. When Liam arrived at the house, he looked distraught, his eyes red and puffy as if he'd suffered a great injustice. Mr. Quinn, I'll be sure to check in with you regularly while I'm accompanying Ms. Thompson on her trip. Please don't worry. I offered him a small smile. You're a hard worker, Liam. I'm not worried at all. Thank you for your help. A look of gratitude flashed across his face. He opened his mouth as if to say something more, but then swallowed it back down. I called Olivia to get the rundown on Liam's situation at the office. She scoffed. Everyone at the office knows something's off between him and Claire. The gossip is relentless, especially now that she's taking only him on this business trip. They might as well have tattooed homewrecker on his forehead. And Claire knows about the rumors, but she hasn't said a word to defend him. She clearly doesn't give a damn about him. He's just a toy to her. People are placing bets on when you're going to show up and punch him out. My voice turned serious. Olivia, listen to me. There is nothing going on between Liam and Claire. Get the staff under control. No more rumors, and I won't tolerate any workplace bullying. I know what's going on. From Miami, Liam sent no updates and posted nothing on social media. Claire, on the other hand, sent me a few scenic photos. Honey, the beach is so beautiful. We should come here together next time. When Claire returned, she acted as if nothing was out of the ordinary. The next day, I got a message from Olivia. Liam tried to resign. Claire refused to accept it. When he appeared before me again, he was unshaven and looked like he had aged 10 years. Mr. Quinn, please, you have to help me. I don't want to be used anymore. He dropped to his knees in front of me, tears streaming down his face. Get up. Let's talk. I helped him to his feet. I don't know what to do. Ms. Thompson helped me. I should be grateful and do what she says. But, Mr. Quinn, I know you're a good man. People at work say I'm trying to be a homewrecker, but I swear I'm not. On the trip to Miami, Ms. Thompson, she brought someone else along. Liam's voice trembled as he spoke. I placed a hand on his shoulder. It was a man, a very handsome man, right? He froze, staring at me in disbelief. You knew. I'm only asking you one thing. Do you have proof? He pressed his lips together, silent. Liam, I need your help. If you have evidence, I need you to give it to me. I promise you, I will make sure you come out of this completely unscathed. Trust me. His hands were shaking violently. He managed to force out a single word. Yes. The video showed a side of Claire I had never seen. Gone was the gentle, composed woman I knew. She was wild, uninhibited, crying out as if she wanted to merge with the man on top of her. Evan, does it make you happy to be with me? Claire. I'm so happy. I love you. Evan, I love you too. I love you so much. Afterward, the two of them lay wrapped in each other's arms. I know this is unfair to you, Claire said softly, wiping the sweat from his brow. But believe me, I'm doing everything I can. This is the most I can give you. What more could I ask for? He replied, his voice thick with emotion. I can only blame myself for being so blind back then, for not seeing how you felt. I've accepted my role as the secret lover who can't be seen in public. As long as I can be with you, I don't care. Evan, his eyes bloodshot with passion, nuzzled against Claire's cheek, his hands caressing her body. Hearing his words, a wave of guilt washed over Claire's face. Don't say that. You're the one I love most, the star I could only dream of reaching. I just hate that I'm not strong enough to defy convention and be with you openly. I'm the one who has failed you. Evan's long fingers traced the line of her heart. Don't say that. You have a wonderful husband. You shouldn't betray him. Claire wrapped her arms around his neck and bit his throat, drawing a sharp gasp from him. He's dull and boring. How could he possibly compare to you? And with that, they fell into another passionate embrace. The moment they landed in Miami, Claire had laid her cards on the table with Liam. She used the scholarship she'd given him as leverage, using her power to pressure him into being her shield. It was all to keep Evan hidden in the shadows, safe from any scrutiny. Liam, who had already been pushed to the brink by the office rumors, was devastated to learn that Claire herself was the source of his misery. The fact that she was now using his gratitude and her authority to blackmail him filled him with a mix of fear, anger, and resentment. He knew that if he agreed, there would be no going back. Claire would never clear his name or protect him. He took a chance and installed a camera in the hotel room. He needed leverage. If Claire let him resign, he would destroy the footage forever. If not, he would have to find another way out. Mr. Quinn, did I break the law? I closed my eyes for a moment, collecting myself before I reassured him. You've done me a great service, Liam. You're the one who helped me. Don't worry, I will protect you. Leave everything to me. The next day, I told Claire flatly that I couldn't stand the sight of Liam Carter. I wanted him fired immediately with a generous severance package. I don't care what's going on between you two, but I want him gone. Now, I never want to see him near you again. Claire looked at me, amused. Honey, why are you so jealous? Who's been whispering in your ear? Come on, there's absolutely nothing going on between us. You can check anything you want. So you're not willing to fire him? My voice was ice cold, my expression leaving no room for negotiation. Honey, I swear on my life, I have never done anything inappropriate with Liam Carter. I let out a cold laugh and sighed. Is that so? And you dare say you've never done anything to betray me? Claire hesitated. You have to trust me. I said nothing more. A silent battle of wills hung in the air between us. Fine, she finally said. I'll fire him. My first step was to take care of Liam. Liam, I'm sorry you have to go through this for now. I know people will still be gossiping, but I will clear your name later. It's okay, Mr. Quinn. It doesn't matter if I resign or get fired. People who want to talk will talk. All that matters is I got what I needed. Worrying about what everyone thinks is exhausting. He looked down, and in just a few months, the harsh realities of the world seemed to have extinguished the light in his eyes. You don't have to call me Mr. Quinn anymore. My name is Julian. If you need any help with your career from now on, you can always call me. He looked up sharply, a flicker of hope in his tired eyes. Thank you, Julian. When Mark learned the full story, he was so furious he wanted to confront Veronica immediately. Birds of a feather. They're both disgusting. Julian, you can't just let this go. I changed the subject. I've been dreaming about my mom a lot lately. If she knew that the person who made all those promises to her is treating me like this now, she would be so disappointed. Mark put a hand on my shoulder. Don't think like that. The last thing your aunt would want is for you to end up on the same path she did. Of course, Mark added, his voice firm. We're definitely not letting Claire get away with this. I stared out the window at the people passing by on the street below. In a little while, it'll be the Thompson Industries' new product launch. There will be a huge live stream. All the major media outlets will be there. Chicago hasn't had a major scandal in a while. Let's give everyone something to talk about. A look of eager anticipation crossed Mark's face. Whatever you need, just say the word. I'm with you all the way, brother. I shook my head. There's one thing. I think I need to go see my father. My parents' marriage was a business arrangement, a merger of two powerful families. They were supposed to maintain a respectful, if distant, partnership for their mutual benefit. But my mother fell in love with my father, and my father had a one that got away, a woman he could never forget. I can't count the number of times I wanted to scream at him, to ask him why he was such a coward. He didn't have the guts to defy his family for the woman he loved, so instead, he ruined my mother's life. It wasn't until I was 18 that my mother discovered he had been supporting his old flame and her daughter for a decade. The woman, a single mother, had come to him for protection, asking for nothing, no title, just like Evan Hayes. But in return, she had captured all of his attention. They carried on their affair in the name of true love, turning my mother into a bitter, resentful woman. She threatened to expose them, to ruin them both. He got on his knees and begged her, promising her anything if she would just keep it quiet. She agreed. Her condition was that he rewrite his will, making me the sole heir to the Quinn family fortune, and have it notarized in front of the entire extended family. She won me the ultimate protection, but in doing so, she lost her right to fight back. She was forced to swallow all her pain. By my senior year of college, she couldn't take it anymore. Almost immediately after her death, the mistress who had lived in the shadows for so long was welcomed into the family home. My father was a coward. He had the nerve to hide it for all those years, but not the skill to hide it from my mother forever. I despised him for it. When I proposed to Claire, I thought that this woman, known throughout our circles for her impeccable upbringing, wouldn't be like the others I'd heard about. I thought she wouldn't play those kinds of games. My mother had warned me not to follow in her footsteps, not to have a society marriage. She wanted me to find a girl from a simpler background, to live a quieter life. But when I saw the blisters on Claire's soft, delicate hands from learning to cook for my mother, I told her, "Mom, Claire is different. She's a good person." I couldn't have been more wrong. But regardless, when you do something wrong, you have to face the consequences. "Julian, you're back." "Hello, Aunt." "Brother, you're home." Yeah, these were not the important people. Civility was all that was required. In the study, my father could tell I was there to ask for something. "Out with it," he said. "What kind of trouble are you in that you have to come to me?" "That Thompson girl. She's got some nerve," he grumbled after I'd explained. "And you, a grown man, letting your wife cheat on you. If this gets out, what will people say about me?" My father hadn't changed a bit. His first thought wasn't of the pain I was in, but of his own reputation. A bitter taste filled my mouth. But it didn't matter, as long as he was useful to me. This wasn't about father-son bonding. "Then I'll have to rely on you, Dad," I said, giving him a slight bow before turning to leave. "I know," he said, and I paused. "You wouldn't have come to me unless you were deeply hurt. Julian, remember this. No matter what happens, the Quinn family will always be your rock." I had to admit, Claire was formidable. It was taking a network of loyal friends, a brave young man, and my powerful, emotionally distant father just to bring her down. Without them, this battle would have been so much harder. The Thompson Industries product launch arrived as scheduled. The venue was packed with industry partners and media from every major outlet. After Claire, the CEO, gave her opening remarks, the large screen behind her began to play the promotional video. Amidst the polished corporate visuals, the scene suddenly shifted. A naked man and woman were tangled together, lost in their own world. "Claire, don't leave me." "I won't." "Evan, I love you." He's dull and boring. How could he possibly compare to you?" By the time Claire realized what was happening, everyone in the room and everyone watching the live stream had seen and heard everything. "Turn it off. Someone turn it off now." The usually composed CEO was now like a cornered animal, her voice shrill with panic. Aren't she and her husband college sweethearts? I thought they had the perfect marriage. Look at Julian Quinn's face. He clearly just found out too. A shame, even childhood sweethearts can't make it. Who's the guy? He really hit the jackpot. I heard he was her high school crush, the one that got away. I guess it's the same for men and women. She's the only daughter of the Thompson family. Always gotten whatever she wanted. She's still young. It's normal to play around a bit. A shame it all came out in public. This is going to be impossible to clean up. Claire listened to the whispers about her, and Evan, her eyes burning with a murderous rage. In the chaos, her eyes met mine across the room. My expression was one of shock, disbelief, disgust, and profound sadness. She lunged toward me, but Mark stepped in her way. "Hey, don't you have more important things to deal with right now?" Veronica Vance pulled him away, shouting, "What are you doing? This is between a husband and wife. Stay out of it." Mark shoved her off. "You're one to talk. Are you any better than her?" Veronica was stunned into silence. "Honey, you have to believe me," Claire pleaded, her voice cracking. "That video is fake. It's deep fake technology. Someone is trying to sabotage Thompson Industries, to ruin our family's partnership. I'll find them. Julian, please don't be angry." The woman before me, in the depths of her panic, was still trying to look out for my feelings. It was either an Oscar-worthy performance or a testament to the sheer complexity of human nature. The things she'd said to Evan might not have been entirely sincere, either. The people of Chicago feasted on a scandal the likes of which they hadn't seen in a decade. Every gossip site and news outlet reposted the story, blurring out the most explicit parts. The rich really play by different rules. This is more exciting than porn. Pretending to be the perfect couple, the whole college sweethearts to lifelong partners act. Disgusting. Thompson Industries has been cashing in on that wholesome image for years. They deserve all the hate they're getting. Insider tip, 100% legit. The CEO used a new assistant as a decoy to hide her affair. The kid was slandered with false rumors for months, and she just watched and even threatened him to keep quiet. He was fired not long after. Damn, how could someone be so vile? Cheating on her husband and ruining an innocent person's life in the process. Who does she think she is, the queen, that poor kid? I can't even imagine how hopeless he must have felt. They in turn get screwed again. Claire faced an onslaught from her shareholders and a barrage of negative reports from every department. Led by my father's company, business partners began to pull out one by one, and old, buried scandals were suddenly leaked to the press. Things that would have been minor issues for any large corporation became fuel on the fire, sending the company's reputation and stock price into a nosedive. For the first time in her life, she felt the crushing weight of utter disaster, and the person behind it all had left no trace. Online, some people still sympathized with her, painting her and Evan as tragic lovers held captive by society. How naive. Evan was the unattainable prize of her youth. He had been so popular back then, with so many options, that he hadn't even noticed her. In college, she had been drawn to me, with my quiet demeanor and a family background slightly more prominent than his. Her teenage crush had faded. But then, at a class reunion, he had sought her out, acting vulnerable, showering her with admiration and affection. He wanted nothing, he said, happy to be her secret. How could she refuse? The cool, aloof boy who had once ignored her was now completely devoted to her. It gave her a sense of satisfaction that I never could. An affair was risky, but with her power and influence, it was manageable. She enjoyed playing the part of the devoted lover for him. It was all just words. When it came down to a choice, how could he possibly compare to me, the sole heir to the Quinn family fortune? Julian, she hadn't seen him in a long time. Her love for him, even if it wasn't pure, was not entirely fake. Was Julian really done with her? After the livestream incident, I moved back to my family's estate. There were many things that required my father's help to manage. It was also an opportunity to work on our relationship. This won't bankrupt Thompson Industries, but it will be enough to get Claire kicked off the board, he said. I've already had my people start the divorce proceedings. Thank you, Dad. I don't know what I would have done without your help. I kept my head slightly bowed, the word Dad still feeling awkward on my tongue. My father sighed and patted my back. The butler announced that Claire was there to see me. Tell her to get lost. Dad, let her in, I said. We need to end this. A haggard, disheveled Claire burst into tears the moment she saw me. Julian, I know what I did is unforgivable. But you have to believe me, I love you. The things I said to him, they weren't true. He was just a distraction, a way to blow off steam. He could never compare to you. I was weak. I lost control. I'm not making excuses. Please, just give me one more chance, I swear. Does Evan know you're saying this about him? Claire froze, her lips trembling. He doesn't matter. I'll cut him off completely. Honey, let's not get a divorce. I promised your mom we would be happy together. Slap. The sound echoed through the room. I put all my strength into it. Don't you dare mention my mother. I felt my own palms sting from the force of the blow. Ow, that hurts, she sobbed. Julian, don't you care about me anymore? Her perfectly styled hair was a mess, and her makeup was streaked with tears. To an outsider, she might have looked pitiful. Honey, it was just this once. I've learned my lesson. Please, just give me one more chance. If he hadn't seduced me, I never would have. Her words only revealed a new, more shameless side of her. I'm grateful this happened, I said, my voice cold. It showed me who you really are. Claire, you are a master of disguise, an expert actress, a manipulator who deflects all blame. Even if this hadn't happened, something else would have. I cannot and will not spend the rest of my life with someone who has no respect for their marriage. I don't know what methods my father used, but he had her signing the divorce papers on the spot. Evan couldn't get in touch with Claire. He only found out what had happened when he saw the news online. The private video had gone viral, and he was being publicly crucified as a homewrecker. At Veronica's company, people openly mocked him to his face. He begged Veronica for help, to let him see Claire. In the CEO's office at Thompson Industries, Evan pulled Claire into his arms. I know you've been under immense pressure, that you didn't want to see me, but I can't let you face this alone. Let me be by your side. Let's get through this together. Seeing his earnest, love-struck expression, Claire let out a derisive laugh. She toyed with the button on his shirt. And would you be willing to go public to help me manage the fallout? Her expression was so vicious, so mocking, that it sent a shiver down his spine. She looked like a witch. What? What do you want me to do? She whispered in his ear. You'll tell everyone that you drugged me, which led to us sleeping together. Afterward, you used the video to blackmail me, forcing me to support you. You'll say that everything I did under duress. And you will publicly apologize to my husband. Evan stared at her in disbelief. This woman, who had professed her undying love for him, who had lamented that she had missed her chance with him all those years ago, was now planning to throw him off a cliff. No, you can't destroy me like this. Claire, don't you love me? How could you do this to me? Shouldn't we face this together? Claire sneered. With an intellect like yours, it's no wonder that rich old woman chewed you up and spit you out. Evan's eyes widened. Love you, she scoffed. I'm Claire Thompson. I get whatever I want. The only reason you were special was because you were the one thing I couldn't have. I thought your face was decent enough, so I spent a little money to have some fun and relieve some stress. What is there about you worth loving? You have two choices now. One, afterward, I'll send you abroad with enough money to live comfortably for the rest of your life. Two, you can dig a hole and bury yourself in it forever. Because if you step outside, the public will tear you to shreds. Your choice. After the initial shock, a deep-seated hatred flickered in Evan's eyes. Fine, I'll do what you want. The Thompson Industries official account announced a press conference to publicly address the external video that had appeared at the product launch. I know I've made an unforgivable mistake, Claire began, her face devoid of makeup, looking pale and vulnerable on camera. I have betrayed the public's trust and, most of all, caused immense harm to my husband, who has always supported me. I accept all criticism and will reflect on my actions. But I want to make it clear that I am also a victim. Mr. Evan Hayes is a high school classmate of mine. We reconnected at a reunion. And now Mr. Hayes will make a public statement to clarify the events of this incident. Watching the screen, I thought of the old saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Evan's haggard face appeared on camera, and a live chat exploded. Some cursed him, others pitied him. He was handsome enough. Why did he have to be a homewrecker? Claire Thompson is a manipulative liar who preys on others, he suddenly shouted. She's threatening me to come out here and clear her name. Although Claire's team scrambled to stop him, the media's cameras were locked on him. Seizing his chance, Evan, looking like a man with nothing left to lose, yelled everything he could into the microphone. These corporate types are something else. At least he was honest about it being a mutual affair. She's trying to pin all the blame on him and play the victim. Disgusting. Say what you will, but the kid's got guts, standing up to a corporate giant like that. Wonder what kind of retaliation he'll face. This just got even better. A real dog-eat-dog fight. While it's been a while since Chicago had this much drama, too late to shut him up now. What a disgrace to women. What was supposed to be a press conference to salvage the company's reputation turned into an explosive sequel to the original scandal. The public's fury was now aimed squarely at Claire. The Thompson Industries board of directors finally kicked her out for good. The same scandal, I noted, was always far more damaging for a woman than a man. Claire was forced to hide out in her family's home, never showing her face in public. I never found out what happened to Evan. Knowing Claire, it couldn't have been pleasant. I got Olivia a position at my family's company. Mark and Veronica also got divorced. But Veronica didn't take it well, insisting that they were meant to be and shouldn't have given up. Julian, let's go on a road trip, Mark suggested one afternoon. Out west. Drive through the national parks. We need to clear our heads. I smiled. Yeah, we should get out of here, but we should bring someone else with us. Liam Carter had gone back to his hometown for a while to recover. I invited him to join us. Julian, I saw all the news. It was incredible, he said when I called. Olivia called to apologize to me, and a bunch of my old co-workers who spread rumors reached out too. I truly believe this kid's resilience would take him far. I know this whole ordeal was hard on you. You're a strong, brave person. If you ever want to come back to work in Chicago, you just call me. We drove the great loop through the canyons and deserts of the West, marveling at the vast, rugged beauty of the landscape. Mark offered me a cigarette. I refused. I had quit for her, but ultimately, it was a good habit for me to break. I wouldn't let a failed marriage change that. Life is full of challenges. Sometimes you step in the mud. It's not the end of the world. The important thing is to pull yourself out, wash off the filth, and never lose the courage to face the truth of your own life. The wind doesn't carry you. You walk on your own.